Welcome to Politics, a podcast about politics in the wizarding world of Harry Potter. I'm Adri, your co-host and recovering English major.
And I'm Juliana, your other co-host and Hufflepuff and runner. And today we are discussing the Chapter 2 of Order of the Phoenix and the Politics of Assumption. So before we go into our podcast, we have two things that we're going to do. First off, we have our question for our listeners. And our question is the same one we've had every week thus far. How has Harry Potter affected your politics, your values, how you live your life? So if you would like to let us know, please drop us a voicemail at 915-996-1699, an email at info@aciopolitics.com, or you can hit us up at aciopolitics on all the socials.
I mean, sometimes I get it. Like, no one wants to really leave a voicemail because that is very, 1999. Right? But you can also record an MP3 and email it to us. So that's also another way that you can leave us your voice.
Fabulous.
Another thing that we wanted to talk about real quick has been the very marked rise of anti-Semitism in this holiday season of all things. Just like the hatred and the intolerance that we've been seeing on the rise worldwide. It makes me very nervous and very sad in equal measure. And just here at Aciopolitics, obviously, we do not stand for that. Last episode we talked a little bit about, JK's tweet, which is also another point of intolerance, right? I don't even want to call it intolerance, Joanne, because it sounds like we should just, we should just tolerate each other. No, we should just all accept each other, right?
I feel like it's more of a point of ignorance on the other party's side, like J.K. Rowling's ignorance as to the fact that these people who are transgender are actually people, and she's just being disrespectful.
Well, it's not ignorance. I don't think it is ignorance. Like, how do you not know that people are people? It's more about, I
guess maybe chosen ignorance. Like, she's choosing...
Like cherry picking?
Yeah, like choosing to be naive to a situation that she actually knows the reality to.
Or choosing to think that her stance as by a cis woman is somehow more valid than the trans woman's existence.
Yeah, just not seeing the full picture and just being not nice.
Yeah, and you know what? Just be kind to everyone, guys. I don't know how to combat the rise of this extremist movements and all this hate, but just be kind to people. And and that sounds naive sometimes, right? But that's kind of the way that I view the world, right? If you don't have to be hateful towards anyone, be kind. No one's trying to take anything away from you. And this hate that comes from the fear of people are taking things away from us, or no one's taking anything away from you. Just doesn't cost you anything to be kind.
I think we should all make the New Year's resolution to do one kind thing for someone else every day, if we can remember to do so. Because I feel like if it's kind of like when you get back to what you said about grassroots movements before, Adri, is big things start from the bottom up. So if we all can just be a little bit nicer to each other on the day-to-day level, it's all just going to start building on top of each other. Yes, it's a very gradual process, but who doesn't want to hear that their shirt looks nice today? And then she just did something to make someone else smile, and nothing is better than that. So I say we all try and just be a little bit nicer day to day.
I think it's funny because I used to get really annoyed with my mom because she would used to volunteer me to help other people do things a lot, oh, you need help writing an essay? You know who can help you? Adrian. And I'm like, Mom, you should have just, checked in with me first, because first of all, like, you're volunteering my services that I could be, charging people for free. And you didn't check in with me to be like, do you have time to help this person? Like, because, constantly putting other people's needs above my own. And obviously I'm still learning how to not put other people's needs above my own. But it's also kind of a good thing to kind of inculcate that feeling of how can you be helpful to other people and be kind to other people. So it's not just like it's great to be like smiling and like making people feel good about themselves, but also like, do they need help? How can you help people who may not be willing to ask for help?
Yeah, and sometimes just checking in with someone is the biggest thing that you can do for them throughout the day. Because a lot of people, and I'm sure even some of these people at the beginning who did some of these horrible acts, like towards the beginning of when they were starting to turn a little bit more negatively in their lives, they probably were just someone who needed help. And I'm sure if the right like mental health resources and other resources, be it drugs, be it something else, be it like anything, could have helped turn them around. And it all starts with a conversation. Something just I'm just checking in, see how you're doing. Oh, well, I hope you're doing okay today. So
I think, taking care of yourself obviously needs to be everyone's priority. I don't want to advocate for like burning out, as I have many times in the past. Be kind to yourself first and foremost, but also be kind to others. Juliana, do you have any instances recently or notable instances in your life where someone's kindness has kind of almost not been just helpful, but also like their impact has been, even big or small, has been something that you can't forget at this point?
Probably the most recent one would be my mom the other day, because many of you might know, many of you might not know, my dog and best friend Elaine, I had to put her down about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so the other day, my mom, who was there with me when it happened and knows that I'm really going through a time right now with that, texted me saying that her friend, she had talked to her friend, and her friend was going to let me dog sit for her. And my mom had gone out of her way, because she knew I was so lonely, and what I wanted was the companionship of a dog, to find someone who was willing to like lend me their dog. And that just made me realize, like, wow, that's just so nice. And that's like a huge game changer for me, because now I won't be fully alone. And yeah, just that one thing that she did for me really has made this last week especially so much more positive and great. But what about you, Adrian? Anything you can think of specifically off the top of your head?
It's so funny because mine is also it's also about my mom. I mean, I have other examples, but so my mom came and visited me for Thanksgiving. A lot of you know that I have not the coziest relationship with my mom, or historically I have not had the coziest relationship with my mom. But since I've been going to therapy and like being willing to talk to her more about things, because my therapist is really awesome, and she's like, have you talked about this with your mom, and like has also given me like the tools to not be so defensive every time I talk to my mom, which also puts her on the defensive, obviously, because like you can't have a calm conversation when you already started at a bad point, right? It's helped us heal a lot. So she came for Thanksgiving, and I was struggling with a few things, and she just came in, and I was like, hey, I'm just struggling with X, Y, and Z, and she just was like, okay, I got you. And she just did things without even like, I mean, she did give me a lecture afterwards, but I mean, it's fine. It's fine, right? Like, but I was willing to be very upfront and honest and vulnerable with her, which I hadn't been historically, because we have, again, a complicated relationship in which, vulnerability is not welcome, has not been welcome in the past and now is. But I feel like, my therapist's kindness, even though she's a professional that I pay, she doesn't have to be that kind, and like fostering me to learn how to not be as reactive or defensive towards my parents, and and also learning me ways to talk to them about mental health and actually them being open to that conversation has been game changing in our relationship. That doesn't mean we don't struggle still, but it's been the kind of like the highlight of the really good things that happened in 2019 have
the only good thing that happened in 2019.
I mean, Juliana, you joined the podcast, so.
That's true. Okay, that was the second.
So, like,
only good thing.
the really good things that have happened in 2019 have been around the progress we've made as a family and, like, and kind of repairing some things that needed repairing and me feeling like I'm not alone. But other than that, I think people have shown me kindness a lot, and I need to be more cognizant of that, because when people, sometimes we just remember the negative stuff, right? Like, I still remember shit that happened in high school where, like, a teacher was really unkind to me, or...
Oh, girl, I remember stuff from, like, elementary school when people were unkind to me.
But then I think that if we focus on that, then one, that's not conducive to healing, right?
No.
And two, then we're already putting ourselves in a defensive position. So if we can kind of seek out those moments of small kindness or, gratitude, then I think that's better for us because we're not, like, poisoning ourselves. And also it helps us be kind to other people as well. Because a lot of people who have these hateful ideologies, because let's not kid ourselves, like anti-Semitism or being a TERF or being a white supremacist, these are hateful ideologies, full stop, are so focused on their perceived, like, grievances that they forget about the kindness in the world, and that's what fuels them. And we can't battle hate with, like, more hate, right? So, I mean, not to be, like, completely, I don't know, feminist about it, but there's this essay called, give me 1 second. Sorry. So there's, like, Audre Lorde has so Audre Lorde is for those of you who don't know, she is a feminist icon and a scholar. And she talks about how you can't dismantle, the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. What that means in that is that we can't use the same tools as, like, the patriarchy to dismantle the patriarchy. And I think that's also very useful in thinking about these ideologies. Like, we can't battle these ideologies with similar ideologies. Like, we can't battle hate with hate because it's never going to dismantle the hate.
Yeah, you have to battle hate with love.
Exactly, and we're not talking about, like, loving the people who have these hateful ideologies. Oh, you could if you wanted to. But it's helping those who are most affected by these ideologies with love that is going to dismantle that hate.
Yeah, I think the general moral from what we're saying is we just need more kindness in our world. And
especially kindness towards those who are persecuted.
Exactly. Okay.
Well,
that was heavy.
Oh, boy. But, I mean...
Unpack that and put that in the suitcase.
I mean, but it's heavy, but also it's uplifting in a way, in a way that we should all practice kindness.
Yeah. Okay. So... like we said at the top of the episode, we are here to discuss Harry Potter, which sometimes is uplifting and sometimes is kind of a downer. So I guess it kind of fits with what we were talking about already. Hooray!
Hooray! But also, it's Chapter 2 of Order of the Phoenix, and the chapter title is A Peck of Owls.
Ooh, I wonder if that's an official term. I haven't Googled it, but I'll do it later.
Oh, wait, no, let's do it now.
Oh boy. Let's see what Google has to tell us. Is a peck an official measure of owls, or is it just a thing that you get apples in? Who knows? So while Adri's Googling that, I will start with the chapter summary real quick. So generally speaking, this chapter we learn that Mrs. Fig is a Swib. Gasp, gasp, gasp. She knows who Harry is, and that Dumbledore has asked Mrs. Fig.
I'm sorry. I need to
Oh
pause.
boy. And now we take an intermission.
No. We'll start the summary again. But I'll cut some of this out. Okay. Owls are generally solitary, but when seen together, the group is called a parliament.
Oh, so this chapter is lying.
A parliament of owls. I love this.
They have a head of parliament.
As they have long been considered to be of a wise disposition.
Oh, okay. Clearly the people who discovered that owls have groupings lived in England.
The parliament of owls.
Yeah.
I love it.
Because they must, that's very cute, actually. Okay, back to where we were in our chapter 7.
Sorry, I needed to say that because it was so cute.
That's adorable, actually. I'm just imagining little owls with tiny little
wigs,
white wigs
yes!
on, and black little robes, and they all holding like little gowns, and they're like, hey, and it's so cute. That should be a sticker. That's a sticker now. A parliament of owls with little tiny wigs on it. Little tiny little.
Juliana, how did you know my gasp meant that?
Educated guess.
You are also very wise.
I am the head of parliament. That's why.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we learned that Mrs. Fig is watching over Harry, and that also Mundungus Fletcher, who was supposed to be the wizard on duty that night, he has gone AWOL looking for some kind of cauldron or something, and Harry's pretty pissed that Dumbledore was having him watched, and he did not know about it. So he's kind of fuming as they bring back Dudley.
Surveillance State 101.
Yeah. So pretty much all the paranoia that Harry had in the first chapter,
completely valid.
Yeah. And then we get back to the Dursleys. Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia are pretty damn pissed that something has happened to their Dudley kittens. And then we start getting all these owl posts in. We get one from the Ministry of Magic saying that Harry has broken the decree for reasonable restriction on underage wizardry, for casting a Patronus charm off school property in front of a Muggle, and that he may be expelled from Hogwarts, and that they're coming to destroy this wand ASAP. Harry freaks out. Then he gets a note from, Arthur Weasley, trying to remember the succession events, that's telling him, don't leave, we're going to make sure that he doesn't snap your wand, and then he gets one from Sirius saying, don't leave, and then he gets one from Arthur saying that the ministry, he's working on it at the ministry, and then we get one from the Ministry of Magic again saying that he has a trial. And during all of this, Uncle Vernon is trying to ask Harry what the heck is going on, and we get the lovely moment from Petunia where she knows what a Dementor is, and we're all like, oh shit.
We're like, oh snap, she knew. She's been hearing about things.
Mm-hmm. This girl knew more than she was telling us about. And then we get the iconic howler that comes from Petunia where it goes, remember my last. That's my best impression of that. And then Harry's just confused and chapter ends.
Oh my I'm trying to like think about, should I isolate that impression on the track and just put a lot of like reverb on it? I think I will.
I think you should. I think it'd be great.
Oh my god. This is beautiful. Thank you so much for that summary.
Oh, you're very welcome. So our politic this week. Oh, did you have something else you want to say about summary?
No. I was going to do the transition, but go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, because I did the last transition. Go ahead.
Sorry. So once that, we've got our summary done, our politics for today are the politics of assumption. And I think the way that I view assumption in our lives, right, is about how we take the data that we know from some people and we make assumptions or predictions as to how they will react. Do you ever find yourself doing that in your life?
Oh, all the time.
Like,
I am
yes.
such a chronic person who suffers from this, and I need to move on. So this is what therapy is for.
Yeah, like we need to stop like assuming that we know what people are thinking or feeling or whatnot. Correct.
Yes, 100%.
And sometimes it lands us in trouble, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, I was right.
Yeah, well, and sometimes it's useful, too, because if you assume, like, if something happens, then you assume that, oh, maybe this person doesn't want to be talked to, or, like, maybe I should do X, Y, or Z, and you follow through on those intentions, like, that can make a big difference in either way.
Well,
So sometimes assumptions are useful, sometimes they're detrimental.
and sometimes it's all about, oh, this is the story I'm telling myself. Let me check in with the other person to make sure that I am understanding things correctly.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Which is hard. So hard.
Very challenging.
So we've had that experience where we've made assumptions. But in this chapter, like, how do we assume, like, so we think about, like, all the ways that these characters interact with each other. And in this chapter, a lot of our politics are sometimes systematic, like, how is this structured, right? But like the politics of assumption is much more personal. It's what assumptions are people making in this chapter, and how do those assumptions inform how they interact with each other, right? So Uncle Vernon assumes that Harry must have done something wrong.
Yeah, he just comes in hot, and he's like, it must have been Harry. Not even taking a second to think that there could even be other options, because in his mind he just assumes that the only option is that Harry is trying to hurt Dudley, which we know is not the case, and it's actually the exact opposite. But because Uncle Vernon just assumes and has lost that space between assumption and action in his brain, he just starts flipping the fuck out. And there's no stopping him pretty much until the end of the chapter when Petunia kind of breaks his bubble.
Oh, that's, yeah. It is what it is. Like, so many assumptions. Yeah. But then Harry assumes that, he's always kind of like the paranoid one. And, obviously he was right to be paranoid. But he also makes some wrong assumptions in this chapter because he didn't know that Miss Fig was a squib. And he was like, Dumbledore? What? So
he just assumes that because she's his neighbor and she's never told him anything, that she clearly doesn't know anything.
Yeah, that she's just like a normal muggle. Aunt Petunia, there's a lot of assumptions made about her, right? But then she shatters those assumptions by knowing what a Dementor is.
I was going to say, I think she's the star that kind of shatters the mold in this chapter in regards to this politics.
Yeah.
Because she's the one who, like, literally gives us the, like, oh moment in this chapter, because we all just, like, stop, and I don't know the exact text from the book off the top of my head, but pretty much the narrator is like, and then Harry stood there in shock.
Basically, yeah. But, I mean, and Vernon assumed that Petunia would agree with him that Harry needed to go.
Yeah, and then that is another assumption that we kind of piggybacking the between knowing about the Dementors and everyone assuming she didn't assumption. It's just kind of a piggyback on that we're just like, oh, okay, things are like, you can like visibly see the dynamic shifting in the room as this happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we also have the assumptions that come from the ministry, just assuming, and we'll learn later in the book, it's less of an assumption and more like an actual like targeted attack on Harry, specifically by our favorite pink cat loving lady, that Harry did this Patronus charm in front of a muggle just for shits and giggles, essentially. And that they should just expel him right on the spot. Adios, wand. We're going to snap in half. See ya. Never, Harry.
See ya. Don't want to be ya. Okay. You know, we've got like Sirius Black is always like, is like, do not run away, Harry. Because he's like, I know my godson. We are so alike.
And in some ways, honestly, that assumption from Sirius, from what we've seen in all the other books,
100% correct.
Unfounded one. Yeah.
100% correct. He was correct.
That's one of the few assumptions in this chapter where I would be like, yeah, that's probably safe to assume, because we all know if Harry hadn't gotten one of those letters, he probably would have just been like, peace out, guys, and just like hopped on his broomstick and like gone off to the hills of Lord only knows where in England, never to be seen again.
Yeah. And then, you know, the ministry's assumption is that Harry did something wrong without figuring out why, of all things, a Patronus charm is the one thing that he cast in front of a muggle.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that itself doesn't add up.
Like, with all the other, like, cool spells at his disposal, like a Patronus, which is, you know, pretty cool, but not as cool as like transfiguring something in front of a muggle.
You could do like a fireworks spell or something. That'd be real flashy.
Exactly. Like why out of all those things did Harry choose to do that? So instead of asking that question, they're like, by the way, you're expelled.
Well, plus Patronus spells are like so hard to
conjure.
Yeah. I mean, we see that in the middle, I believe it's the middle of this book, where Dumbledore's army is forming, and Harry's like, oh, well, if you guys get really good, we can start on Patronus charms. And they're 50 years at this point, and at this point, Harry's the only one who could even, like, think about conjuring a Patronus. So it's not like a whimsy, like wimpy spell, like Wingardium Leviosa that we learned in the very first charms lesson. This is like a legit hard to do spell.
Well, and it's not like a muggle would know like how hard it is. Where there are flashier spells that are like flashier spells in terms of like the showcasing of that spell that are easier to do.
Oh yeah, him flexing that in front of Dudley would mean absolutely nothing to Dudley. Dudley would be like, great, you made this giant stag come out of your wand.
Cool Fresto. Cool story, bro. Like, nice to hear about this.
Yeah. He wouldn't care. That's all it comes down to. But, yeah, on the whole, this chapter has quite a lot of assumptions that are made from multiple parties. And
that informs the majority decision because no one fucking talks to each other.
Yeah. Communication, people.
If there's anything therapy has taught us, is that communication is key.
No one can read minds. We wish they could, except for Queenie Goldstein in the Fantastic Beasts movies. But that is it. And you're not her.
I mean, as much as we would love to be, sometimes.
Yeah, she has some pretty cute outfits, and I like her hair.
Yeah, love her hair, love her outfits. Don't understand. This is a question. This is a question for another time. Don't quite understand her arc in the second movie.
Same.
Does not make sense to me. But okay.
Hard same. But that again, that's a conversation for another time. But In regards to our politics of this chapter, did you have anything else you want to kind of talk about with that, Adri?
No, I think we can move along, and then maybe we could talk about the politics, in terms of the quote that we chose and all that stuff.
Cool. Okay, so we're just going to move on to our quotes that we picked from the chapter. I had a quote from page 31, and hold on 1 second. And what the ruddy hell dementors? They called the wizard prison in Azkaban, said Petunia. 2 seconds of ringing silence followed these words, and then Aunt Petunia clapped her hand over her mouth, as though she had let slip the disgusting swear word. Uncle Vernon was goggling at her. Harry's brain reeled. Mrs. Figg was one thing, but Aunt Petunia? So, this is just that was my dramatic reading of that. So this is just kind of the exact mic drop moment that I talked about earlier, where Petunia is saying that she knows what Dementors are, and everyone's just like, oh, okay. And visibly everyone's just like taking a step back, being like, that was news.
I know, it's the best.
Just like shattering everyone's assumptions right there. And what quote did you get, Adrian?
My quote comes on page 24, and it says, of course he has, said Mrs. Figg impatiently. Did you expect him to let you wander around on your own after what happened in June? Good Lord, boy, they told me you were intelligent. Right, get inside and stay here, she said, as they reached number 4. I expect someone will be in touch with you soon enough. So, she's like, of course Dumbledore's not going to leave you on your own, you idiot. Like, one, like, do you think I'm living here by coincidence? And 2, after June, do you think that he's going to leave, let you be without protection? Come on.
Yeah. Wacky.
And, it's like, well, Harry wouldn't have to assume that he wouldn't do that if Dumbledore had just told him. Communication is key, everyone.
We come back to the same point over and over again. How funny is that?
Which is also kind of the whole shtick that we are exploring in our new comic series for patrons. The life of a Hogwarts. I know, the life of a Hogwarts admin staff. The life of Hogwarts' admin staff, in which we meet some non-canon administrative staff and their interactions with
professors and staff members.
Well, not professors. So just like supporting staff for the school. And they're
one of them specifically being a therapist.
Yes, a counselor at Hogwarts grounds, and how their interactions with professors and a certain headmaster who is not good at communication go.
So if you're interested in seeing those, you can hop on over to patreon.com/AcioPolitics.
Yes.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Those will be coming out every other Friday at 5 a.m. my time. They're already scheduled, Juliana. I'm very excited.
Oh boy, so if you're Eastern time, you can get up at 4 a.m. and chuckle to yourself.
No, at 6 a.m.
No, because I'm an hour. Oh, you're right. Sorry. I'm not good with time.
It's okay. You don't need a time turner. It's fine. So, Friday, Friday the 10th will be the first strip of that comic series. Will be posted on patreon.com. If you are a patron. If you are not a patron, you can check out the tiers at patreon.com/AcioPolitics. So every Friday there's new content coming at you from us. One Friday it will be The Girl Who Lived, our, bi-weekly podcast series only for patrons, where we talk about each character and what it will look like if they were the opposite gender in a gender-swapped Harry Potter universe, and how they would be treated, or how we would look at them, right? And the next Fridays would be the comic.
Yeah, so if you're interested in any of that, or you just want to support us, we will get back to it briefly at the end. We've kind of done our shtick impromptu in the middle of the podcast, but that's fine.
It's okay. This is like a mid-roll, you know?
Yeah. Imagine we have sponsors and ads. This is where they would be, except we don't quite yet. We're working on that. There's a lot of things in the pipeline.
Oh, there are a lot of things in the pipeline for 2020, and I am so excited about them. Another thing that is in the pipeline for 2020 regarding patreon.com/occupolitics is that rewards, instead of being monthly, will now be sent out every 3 months. So you will get 3 stickers and 3 recipe cards, depending on your tier, of rewards. So it'll be kind of like a little subscription envelope box. It's really fun.
Yeah, and you can stick 3 stickers at once on your laptop or on your water bottle. Just promote us, be like, look at these lovely stickers from Archaeopolitics. You should listen to Archaeopolitics.
Also, I've been working on making them really funny.
Yes, and they are quite funny and they're lovely with the new watercolor design too, which is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm trying to every year we'll try like a different theme. You know what I mean? Like it can't always be the same.
Gotta mix it up. Keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh for my ADHD brain.
Yeah, same. Okay, so back to where we were. So we will round back around to the character that we felt exemplified this topic. So for me, I chose Uncle Vernon, mostly because he comes in hot and assumes that Harry is always to blame, and then his wife knows absolutely nothing. And within the same chapter, we see both these assumptions get shattered real hard. Oh, something is beeping out in the hallway. It stopped. Okay. Sorry.
No problem.
Lots of beeping things happening here. So I was saying, yes. So Uncle Vernon assumes that Harry is always to blame, that his wife knows nothing about the wizarding world, and we see both these things be shattered to bits and pieces, and we see that Uncle Vernon is completely wrong with his assumptions on both fronts. And the thing that makes me chuckle the most is that Uncle Vernon knows that his wife's sister was a witch. They both actively know she was a witch, and how can, I grew up with my siblings too, and if they had gone to a school and then come back and told me stories about them, I would have retained some of that information.
Especially if it's scandalous,
Yeah, you're telling me about soul-sucking demon skeleton people, I'm gonna be like, oh, wow.
I'd be like, your world is cray-cray,
I'm glad that I go to school and we just have detention. That sounds way worse.
The stakes are higher, definitely.
Yeah. So who did you pick as your character?
Well, I also want to say that Uncle Vernon also kind of assumes, before we get to my character, right, that Uncle Vernon also assumes that Petunia is going to be, completely A-okay with him, throwing Harry out, and that she's, on board with whatever decision he makes. And that's another way in which, his assumptions get shattered once she gets the Howler.
Overthrow the patriarchy. No.
Yeah, let's overthrow the patriarchy for sure. But and even if she does that, I'm assuming out of fear for Dumbledore from Dumbledore. It's still fear. It's still an assumption that gets shattered.
Yeah, exactly.
So my character is Harry because he assumes. He assumes that he's been left alone, or he's asking all these questions very defensively because he feels entitled to the information, as a lot of us would, right? In similar situations, well, if this is happening to me, why is it happening to me, and why is no one fucking telling me anything?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why he would be aggravated, because I would also be aggravated if I was in his situation, but he does assume that he's just entitled to know every little last detail when as someone who works in healthcare myself, I know that sometimes you have to draw lines as to who can get what information, and it's not as much a personal grievance as it is just a precautionary measure for the greater good of the whole organization or the person or whatever you may be dealing with.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not saying that Dumbledore shouldn't have, like, communicated some of this to Harry, but maybe he felt like he was doing the right thing and everyone's just out there trying to do their best.
Yeah.
Unless we're talking about the Dumbledore in our comics.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
All right. Yeah, so anything else about this chapter you want to talk about, Juliana?
No, I think we hit all the high points.
And the low points, if you're being honest.
Yeah, there were a few low points. Probably more low points than high points, but that's okay.
All right, so speaking of high points and low points, Juliana, what media have you been consuming lately?
So I have a recommendation for something that I have been listening to since it started, so like two-ish years ago. It's another podcast. It's called Why Won't You Date Me with Nicole Byer. If you are looking to literally just like laugh your ass off, you need to start the first episode because it's a saga. You have to meet the Malaysian guy. You have to meet all the people that she's dated. It's great. I look forward to it every single Friday. It makes my Friday commute to work literally the best commute of the week. So, highly recommend. I saw her live in Boston. Again, highly recommend. So, if you're not listening to Accio Politics, maybe head on over and listen to Why Won't You Date Me with Nicole Byer. And if you're like me and just someone who, generally speaking, has a certain level of hatred towards dating apps, you will highly appreciate this.
Oh, we need to talk about your hatred of dating apps because I've never had to use one. I was in that sweet spot.
Garbage pail.
I was in that sweet spot of like meeting my husband when dating apps actually started, like in 2012. So
we can save that for another
yeah.
That would be like a whole like hour-long discussion as to why dating apps are just burning trash fires.
Well, and it's funny because I don't know if you know this, but Bumble has a feature where you can meet women, like friends.
Yes.
So I have Bumble BFF. And with Bumble BFF, I've been meeting a ton of really amazing women and, you know, befriended a lot of these amazing women. So I haven't had like a bad experience in that sense because obviously friendship is a little bit different than dating. But you're still getting to know someone else, and sometimes people suck, regardless.
Yeah.
But it's been really great, and if anyone out there is struggling like I had struggled, or is still struggling sometimes, in a new city, because when you move into a new place and you have no roots there, or you don't know anyone there, that is a great app to download if you want to make female friends.
I will just say as a caveat though, because I know where you live is a lot more densely populated than where I live. I have tried that here on the Cape, and there's like not many people even close to where I am, just because.
I'm sorry, Julia.
Well, I mean, most of the people that live on, like, let's be real here, most of the people who live on the Cape are retirees. So, and I'm 26. I'm not retired quite yet. Do I wish I could? Possibly, that would be nice. But if you're living in a much more rural or area that has a lot of people who are outside of your age range, I think you would just find that a little bit hard. But on the whole, like I've met like one or two people through that. I did that a while back, but again, I didn't have any negative experiences with it. It's just actual dating apps that are trash fire. Like love dating apps that are trash fire.
And for me, I have like a few rules, and please don't hate me, everyone, but I have a few rules, like, because I'm nearing my mid-20s, mid-30s, I mid-20s. Nice try, right? I will not necessarily, unless I see something in their profile that, like, hints at someone that I would really connect with, I will not kind of swipe on people who who are like 20, 25, 26, or, sometimes even 27, or people who are still like doing their undergrad. And it's not like anything against people who are doing their undergrad, it's just I don't have a lot of things in common with some of those people, especially if they just like to party a lot. And even like there are people in their 30s and 40s who like have their like, oh yeah, I just want to go dancing and party. And I'm like, well, like that's good for you, but like I have nothing here for you.
Yeah, I will say that one of the biggest issues that I personally find with dating apps is that I am much more aware, like self-aware and mature than most people in their 20s. Mm-hmm. And so people see me and they see my face and they're like, oh yeah, this is this girl in her 20s. And then on the inside, I'm an 85-year-old grandma.
Which is why I love you, Juliana.
I'm the resident grandma. Most of the places where I go, if I'm not actually at work with my elderly people, I am the resident grandma.
It's funny because I'm the resident mom of all my friend groups.
I'm definitely the grandma who's like, it's 8 p.m., it's time to go to bed. Let's go get the 5 p.m. dinner special. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like the like when we have like sleepovers or something at my place, because I still do that because I am also 15 at heart at the same time. I'll be like the one like, okay, so here's breakfast, everyone. How's everyone doing? Like I'm just like,
did you sleep okay?
Yeah, like I'm just the mom.
Every friend group needs a mom. They need a grandma. They need a party person. They need a planner.
Yeah, exactly.
So we all just fill those necessary roles.
And there's no shame with that.
No shame. So what media have you been consuming?
I have been consuming the latest season of The Good Place, which is a fantastic show that is in its final season because the writers have decided to let it end with grace, which is a good way to do it. Like they planned for 4 seasons and they're giving us 4 seasons and they're not trying to, like the creators and the writers are not trying to sacrifice the quality for longevity.
Yeah, they're not putting the dollar over the quality.
Yes.
Of the show.
And that is, I don't know, have you ever watched The Good Place? It's such a good show.
Take a guess. I'm the world's worst TV watcher.
So Juliana, I don't know if I could cut this out if you're not comfortable. You have a surgery coming up with a lot of rest period. That should.
Oh yeah, you can leave this in. Okay. I don't really care.
No, but you know what I mean.
You can start over.
But you know what I mean. Like if you're not comfortable with that, I'm completely fine taking it out.
I don't care.
So you have a surgery coming up, and you're gonna be resting a lot in your house. And I think this would be a good show for you to watch while you like play with Legos or whatever you're going to be doing to entertain yourself.
I know. I'm gonna have to definitely add a lot of shows to my watch list because I will have quite a bit of free time. So I think that's one of the ones I would put on.
Girl, you have 4 seasons to get through. It's fine.
I know. That should give me, at least like a week's worth of TV watching?
Yeah, for sure. And it's really, it's so well written that, I don't say this about anything.
Well, I will take it to the bank.
Like, the character development is also amazing. So, if that helps.
Well, that's good.
And I'm not even going to spoil it for you. It's going to be great. You're going to love it.
Okay. Don't tell me anything. I know, like, the very bare bones minimum about the show, so I will literally just start from that, and I will enjoy the journey.
And then just text me while you're doing it. You could live tweet it if you want. I don't know.
Live stream it. Oh shit! What is this?
Yeah, like
because I wouldn't have that kind of reaction. I assume it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not that kind of show. But
yeah, you could just text me as your reactions, or you could if you text it to me, I'll like probably be able to put it on the Akio Twitter.
Ooh, stay tuned, listeners.
That'd be cute, I think.
Yeah.
And then, like, because because you don't use Twitter as much, and I do, right? Then if people are kind of spoiling it for you on Twitter, then you wouldn't know.
I would have no idea.
Yeah, exactly.
The last time I checked Twitter was probably like 2 months ago. So if you spoil things for me, don't plan on me reading them, because I won't. Sorry.
Did you get any Lego sets?
I have 4 of the Harry Potter ones in the boxes still set up, and I'm just going to do them all when I'm home after I get out of the hospital. I did not buy the Hogwarts castle because it's still $400. I do not have $400 to spend on a Lego set, so I bought the ones that are like, I bought like 4 of the ones that are like $25, $30 each, so.
I mean, patreon.com/occulpolitics as a GoFundMe for Juliana's Hogwarts Castle, please.
If you guys start a GoFundMe and send the Hogwarts Castle to my house, I will build it and I will blog/document every step that I take to make that thing, and we will find a I have the perfect spot for it. You can sit in my front window that overlooks all of the main street in the town that I live. I live right on Main Street, and it can sit in a spot that legitimately half the town will see every single day. And I can put a light on it, and I will take pictures of it. So if you guys so choose to raise $400, which is still a bonkers amount for Legos, then send it my way, because I will make it worth your while.
I think that's a worthwhile idea.
I'm very interested to see if anything comes of that. I feel like it will not, but it was shooting my shot there.
You know what? Sometimes what I've learned from working in fundraising, right, is that you can't get what you don't ask for. And the worst thing that people can say is no. And has no ever killed you? It has not. Because you've heard no most of your life, if you're being honest. So, when my mom was here last time, we went to a purse store that I'm not going to publicize. And she was getting her purse, and I fell in love with this one purse, and I was like, oh man, but I can't afford it, right? So I looked at her and I said, do you want to get this one for me? Because you really liked it, right? She really, really liked the purse that I liked. And she was like, she looked at me, and I looked at her, and I was like, okay, they've trained me for this in fundraising, right? Like, what you say is, this is what I want. And before it's going to get awkward for a little bit, right? I'm giving everyone like this lesson. You ask for what you want, and you endure the awkward silence. Don't say anything, because the person who speaks first after you make your request is the loser, usually. So I asked her for this purse. I was like, do you want to get it for me? Because I can't afford it, but you like how it looks on me, right? And she looked at me, and I looked at her back, and we stood there for like, I kid you not, 20 seconds, which is a lot of time to be silent if you're me, let me tell you. And she looked at me, and she goes, fine. So I got a new purse.
Yep. Oh, I love it.
But the sales lady was laughing her ass off at this exchange, because obviously it's in her best interest for my mom to get me the purse that I wasn't going to get if my mom wasn't going to get it for me. And I wasn't even trying to guilt my mom into anything. I was just like, I'm going to shoot my shot. You know what I mean? And I mean, it was less than the Hogwarts Castle, but it was too close to the Hogwarts Castle money. Let's be real. And after that, my mom was talking to someone else, and the sales lady comes to me and she's like, that was really good. And I was like, well, if there's anything I learned through fundraising is you can't get what you don't ask for. And she, because, I was telling her how I work for a nonprofit and stuff, and she was like, you're good. You're good. And I was like, thank y'all.
Yep. We get back to the point that people are not mind readers. So you have to ask for what you want.
Well, and not just in money, but also in, like, if you need some time off, you need to ask for it. If you need someone to show you appreciation, you need to ask for it in a nice way. No one's saying that you have to be, like, demanding of it or entitled to it. Mm-hmm. Again, be kind. Do things with kindness.
Yay!
Full circle.
So, full circle. Hooray.
Okay, Juliana, where can we find you online?
So you can find me at jelly, as in grape jelly, Anna_runs. That's Instagram. And I'm also a host on the Speak BC podcast. Haven't been on one in a little bit just because we've had a lot of special guests and holidays and such, and we had our 100th episode recently. So if you're interested in the Fantastic Beasts series, please go listen to that. And then I'm also part of the Common Room correspondence for Speak BC, which is a YouTube series where we just kind of chat about old predictions about the Fantastic Beasts series, and that is every other week on YouTube. We're recording one tomorrow, so if you're interested, please let us know. And on that show, it features me doing terrible accents and also making dumb jokes. So please stay tuned.
What a strong brand. I love it.
We can preview the joke that I'm going to do tomorrow if you'd like.
Yes.
Oh, and then no, we'll save the other joke for the. There's a joke that's coming on your next thank you card that I think is my favorite Harry Potter joke. So teaser. But,
oh yeah, like those thank you cards are going to be lit. Like, so on top of like patreon.com/occupolitics, getting like your stickers and your recipes depending on which level you're on, you will get a custom thank you card designed by either Juliana or I. So it's going to be great.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. So my joke that I'm doing tomorrow is, how does Voldemort keep his breath fresh?
How?
Dementos.
Oh my god, I love
it! It's so dumb that it's good. That's my brand.
I mean, it's punny as hell. I love it.
I can't take credit for that one. I found it online, but I sorted through about like 100 jokes, and that one was just like, yeah. That was my
Juliana,
joke.
you have the grandma jokes of Harry Potter, and I love it.
Truly, I do. But where can we find you, Adrian?
Well, you can find me on Insta and on Twitter at AnanaBanana. That is ANANA Banana.
Yeah.
Which is funny because, my name is Adriana, obviously, and when I was 2 years old, I couldn't say my name, so I would say that my name was Anana. And one of my best friends from college started calling me Anana Banana, which became all my handles on social media. And it turns out that Anana means pineapple in French. And I love pineapples, so it just fits. Pineapple banana.
So you're like a smoothie.
I mean, I am very tropical. It is true.
Tropical smoothie lady. I like it.
On brand. All right, so if you want to support our podcast and get our sweet rewards, you can check us out at patreon.com/occupolitics. It's not like we haven't told you any other time in this episode. Juliana, do you want to do our question for our listeners one more time?
Sure. So like we said at the top of the episode, we have a question for all of our listeners. We've actually gotten a few really great answers back already.
Oh my gosh,
so
yes, it's been great.
Some of them have been like really awesome, and I've actually had personal conversations with some of the people who have submitted them afterwards, and they've been absolutely fabulous and fantastic, and I cannot thank them enough for everything and all their kind words.
Also, yeah, same here on our Facebook page. I've been talking to a few people back and forth about all of this. It's been great.
Yeah, it's always nice to hear either constructive criticism or any like feedback that you have for us, and we just want to hear your story. So that gets back to our question for listeners: how has Harry Potter affected your politics, your views, your actions in your own life? Again, you can let us know. Leave us a voicemail at 915-996-1699. Email us either a actual email or a voice recording of yourself at info@aciopolitics.com, or hit us up at any of the socials on all the socials are at aciopolitics.
Also, you can check out our site where you can actually listen to our podcast, aciopolitics.com. That being said, 2020 is going to be a great year for Aciopolitics. Juliana and I have been working really hard behind the scenes on planning and executing some really great stuff for the podcast. And sometimes planning takes more time than you think it's going to. But planning is essential for us to better the podcast and make consistent episodes. And if you're kind of new to the podcast, what you don't know is that I have been producing and editing the podcast for about 2 years. And in those a year and a half, 2 years, I hadn't stopped putting out new content every week, and that kind of burned me out. So now that I have Juliana's help and we've gotten organized, we can put content back again to where we started, every week, and it's going to be fun. But if you're new and you hadn't seen a lot of consistency from the podcast, that's why.
So get ready for getting an episode every single Thursday, and also the other fun benefits if you are a patron supporter.
Yeah, and if you're a patron supporter, you're going to get a benefit every Friday, and it's for as little as $2 a month.
So join us on our fun journey through the fanciful, fun, and crazy Harry Potter world.
Oh, it's going to be great. Thanks, Juliana. All right, so next week, what are we talking about?
Next week we have Chapter 3 of Aciopolitics, the Order of the Phoenix edition, and we have the lovely Ario Potts, who will be joining Adri next week to discuss Order of the Phoenix Chapter 3, and then the following week after that you will also get a conversation. So 2 weeks from today you will get a conversation between Adri and Ario just in regards to the world and politics in general currently. So they had such a great conversation that when I was editing, I felt that it should be 2 separate episodes because they were kind of 2 separate
conversations.
Ideas. Yeah, they were essentially 2 different conversations that were happening within the same time frame. So that means that you guys get double the fun, double the content. So we hope you enjoy both of those episodes that will be coming down the pipeline.
And Chapter 3, the politic is going to be the politics of cultural expectations. So that's really fun.
Ooh.
We'll see you then, but you can always hit us up on the socials. So until then, politics managed.